sixth row, Halsmer, Brayton, and Andretti. In the seventh row, Chris Neifel, Dick Simon, Tony Bettenhouse. In the eighth row, Jose Garza, Jeff Brabham replacing Desiree Wilson, who broke her leg in a race last week. Steve Chassie on the outside. The ninth row, Michael Chandler, Howdy Holmes with our camera car, Bill Alsop. The 10th row, Jerry Carl, Tom Bigelow, Dick Ferguson. And the 11th row, Johnny Parsons, Herb Johnson, and Jimmy McElreath. 11 rows of 3, and Rick Mears heads out of the pits after receiving some adjustment. Bobby Unser, you had the glasses up. Any idea what Rick needed?
Well, it looked like maybe the nose wasn't fastened, but the only thing I could figure, they weren't adjusting the wings, and best I could figure, there was two possibilities. One of them, a shock absorber adjustment. The other one had to be possibly the Zeus nut fastened on the nose.
And Rick Mears pulls around the field and drops back into his starting position. That's perfectly legal at this point in the race as he drops in between John Paul and Al Sr. The field now on the backstretch. There are 2 former winners in this field, 1 kart champion. 5 cars qualified at over 200. 4 rookies start this race today. 17 March cars, 5 Penske's, 2 Wildcats, 3 Eagles, a Lola, a Rattlesnake, a Primus, an Argo, a Watson, and a McElreath. As the pace car already through the 4th turn, and the pole sitter, Teo Bobby, brings the front row of Don Whittington and Tom Sneva ever so slowly to the line. Now the pace begins to quicken. The green flag is in the hands of the starter, Nick Bernoro. We wait and watch to see will the green flag come out. They come off the 4th turn. Bobby brings them down toward the line. The starter watches, the green flag flies, and we're underway and racing in the 1983 Michigan 500. Teo Bobby accelerates quickly, heads off. Whittington pulls up high, and Gordon Johncock moves down low and chases the leaders.
Whittington has just gone around the outside and taken the lead down the backstretch with Johncock in second, Bobby in third.
A remarkable development right off the top as Don Whittington wants to lead this race. Gordon Johncock drops into second. Teo Bobby continues dropping backwards.
The guy that's really moving right now, Paul, believe it or not, is going to be Tom Sneva. He's really taking a run at the leaders right now.
The leaders are side by side, almost touch wheels as they head to the start line, and it's a dead heat coming to the line. You know, almost impossible to tell who might have led, but now Tom Sneva moves out and around and picks up the lead.
They are really going after it to be this early in the race. Of course, Gordon Johncock, I can tell you, is going to make a move on Sneva. He's not going to let him get away.
We've got 2 stubborn people right there right now.
Well, Tom Sneva leading at the moment. We're in lap number 2 of the Michigan 500. Gordon Johncock right behind him. Don Whittington that jumped out in front is pulled back into third. There is Johncock chopping at the back end of Sneva. Sneva continues to hold him off as they come toward the line one more time, and Johncock makes a try, pulling down inside Sneva. Can he hold that position? That's Don Whittington just sitting back and watching, and Gordon Johncock gets him.
Jordan is very fast there, Paul. Like Johnny said earlier, he thinks this is his racetrack, and he's also a very, very headstrong driver. Of course, so is Tom Sneva. Remember what I said a while ago, there's going to be more racing than we've ever seen before because of the temperatures being so much cooler.
Well, originally, when we talked with these drivers and crews, they said they were just going to take it nice and easy in the early going. But that's not the case here.
This looks like the start of a 150-miler, doesn't it?
It sure does. Gordon Johncock, the defending champion, pulls a little bit low coming across the line. Sneva is chasing him right now. And Don Whittington stays back in 3rd place. Teo Bobby has dropped back into 4th. Mario Andretti started 18th in this race. He's had problems developing. This new Lola car has now moved up into 10th position.
That's a pretty good move for Mario. Of course, that's the way he operates. Mario is the kind of guy that always is going for it. He'll be up in the front before we know it.
Here's first and second. Gordon Johncock is now leading Tom Sneva. Bill Whittington, Don Whittington is sitting in 3rd.
You notice that Teo Bobby seems to be having a little bit of problem in the traffic. I don't know if you've noticed that, Paul, but I have. And Stephen and Gordy are really hooked up and gone, and so is Don Whittington. But Teo seems to be falling back. He seems to have a little bit of uncertainty as far as what he's going to do with the traffic.
Gordon Johncock and his car number 20 is out in front, and Johnny Rutherford, we alluded to it earlier. This is not the Wildcat that we have seen all season. This is a new car. This is a March. Here's Teo Bobby as he is trying to maintain 4th place, but Bobby Rahal is trying to challenge him for it. Rahal with a very good run.
Yes, Rahal is the kind of guy, you know, this, as I said, is his first victory was on this track in a short race, the end of last year. So he knows what it takes. He knows what it's like. Pacing himself for 500 miles is what it's going to take now.
That battle continues. car smoking heading into the fourth turn. Just a sudden plume of smoke coming out the back of the car, indicating an engine blows. And if it does that, then we have to watch behind it as well. Tom Bigelow, looks like the engine just let go on the car.
Well, it didn't let go completely, Paul. I think he has a very severe oil leak, and he's still continuing around, but he'll be in this lap, I'm
Yellow
sure.
flag is out.
Well, they'll bring him in. They have to, because he's got a very severe oil leak, if nothing else.
Here's how Howdy Holmes sees it as they're under the yellow now. Holmes heading into the third turn. He'll acknowledge the yellow flag, and the field will line up behind Gordon Johncock, Tom Sneva, and Don Whittington. The yellow flag comes out as a result of Tom Bigelow, who blew an engine. The yellow flag flies at Michigan just here in the early going as the field lines up. We'll be back right after this.
Beatico Creek, Louisiana, and Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Beatico Creek means bass, fat and tasty, and Milwaukee means beer, cold, crisp, Old Milwaukee beer, and the smooth golden light taste of Old Milwaukee Light.
Old Milwaukee.
And Old Milwaukee Light.
Taste as great as their name.
Let me tell you, it doesn't get any better than this.
Cycle Magazine says it runs with 750s without even breathing hard. Cycle World says it has excellent handling. Cornering clearance is exceptional. Cycle Guide calls it the world's quickest 650. Motorcyclist Magazine calls it the first 650 Superbike. We call it the Nighthawk. Only from Honda.
To win at this game, your feet need help. They need an edge. I gotta do fast starts, quick stops, jumping, kicking, miles of foot-pounding running. Here's my winning edge. Super tough insoles from Older Readers.
Super Tough. Reduce shock and foot fatigue. It's like wearing thousands of tiny foam springs to help you keep that spring in your step feeling.
And Older Readers' activated charcoal formula keeps even sneakers from smelling like sneakers.
Whatever your game, feel more spring in it. Super Tough Odor Readers for the winning edge.
We're back live at the Michigan 500. Gordon Johncock is our leader. A problem in the early going when Tom Bigelow blew an engine, so we're under yellow right now. And you'll remember on the start, Rick Mears is headed for the pits. So let's head for the pits as well, where Bruce Jenner is with Roger Penske.
All right, Roger, why did Rick come in right there before the green?
Well, he wasn't quite sure about his front brakes. We made a change yesterday, and it was before the race started, so we came in, looked at the fronts. At the same time, we made an adjustment on the rear springs. Just we thought the way the day changed, it gave us an opportunity to make an adjustment before the race started.
But he's in there and okay now, huh?
So far, yeah, I just talked with him on the radio, and he said everything's good. It's going to be a long day.
It certainly will be for everybody. Let's go back up to Paul Page.
Thank you, Bruce. Let's take this view of the start of the race. This is our cart camera, and it's over Howdy Holmes' right shoulder. Remember, we were the first to develop this onboard camera for these type of cars, and it's working beautifully today. As Howdy Holmes, you can hear the engine begin to pick up revs. One car jumps into a new position on the course. Obviously, they had to be in the right position, probably just fell back as they were scrubbing tires. And they're coming to the green flag now. Now, this is a few minutes ago as we were coming to the start. You can see Howdy Holmes reach down and grab the gear lever.
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul, that's one of the best shots from an inside a car that I've ever seen in my life. It certainly gives you a nice, broad view of what's really happening. Look at it pick up the speed right now. Really is impressive, I think.
On the backstretch, here is Howdy Holmes. That was Bill Alsop that pulled up along on the outside. Now as the pace quickens for the front rows, this is 9 rows back. Videotaped during the start from the onboard camera. You can see the revs beginning to pick up. Now, the revolutions of the engine cause a lot of ignition, and when it does that, it'll cause a little distortion in the picture, but it's still more than acceptable. As we watch Howdy Holmes, the speed now really picks up. The front row getting the green flag at this moment, and Howdy Holmes would be racing.
Well, we're not too far away from getting the green again, Paul. Look at that shot. That's a beautiful shot coming into the green flag. But we're just about to have another one
involved there.
Yes, yes, and you can see what it's like at 200 miles an hour, jockeying with other cars. See them pulling up and moving around. Howdy's being a little conservative there, holding back. The other cars kind of went on in, but now he's got it figured out, and he's going for it.
Howdy Holmes, that's what it looks like from the race driver's point of view, and that little piece of plastic floating to the left of the picture there is one of the tearaways for the front of his helmet. We'll be talking more.